It's Friday and I'm on fire, and I know that I'll break your heart, and I'm sorry, I'm just so tired. Just it, so won't you come?
Network. I am Ace. What's going on, everybody? I am Ace.
Why are we muting?
I don't know.
All right, let's try to get Ace. Hey, sorry about that.
Take two.
Are we good now?
I think so.
Okay, we're
Let's
good
do
now.
it.
Sorry about the technical difficulties.
Yes.
We had somebody new running this thing. So, anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Alfie was running it.
We do want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. We have a very special edition of Between the Ropes. We have some great topics for you. And not only do we have great topics, but we actually have our end of the year awards as far as WWE. So we just want people to think that, that these awards we are giving out, it wasn't through every promotion. It was just simply through WWE at this point in time. So, but let's welcome in the crew that I have with me tonight. We'll go ahead. We'll start out with none other than Big B. How are you doing tonight?
Doing okay. Sorry, guys, again for the technical issues. Fat fingers running the program. But no, I can't wait to hear thoughts on our topics and who got our second annual awards. So it'll be interesting.
All right, and then welcome in the ESD of Between the Ropes, Christy Wilson. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good. Ready to rock and roll here.
Don't forget those exciting awards. Are you ready to present some awards tonight?
Yep. I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Are you ready to rumble?
So for those of you who are watching, we're going to get to the awards at the very end of the show. So that's going to be our last thing to leave off the show. To open the show, we have some very good topics for you. The first topic that we're going to start out with is we're going to be previewing this coming up Friday night SmackDown, because I'll tell you, this card actually for Friday is actually going to be a very, very good card. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if you guys happen to see one of the matches that were added on the card.
I haven't.
I hadn't seen
it was Sheamus and Solo.
Right.
It's going to be Sheamus versus Solo. I'm telling you, that is going to be an extremely good match.
Banger.
I'm really looking forward to that match. So we have Sheamus versus Solo. Then we have the Women's Championship on the line. We have Ronda Rousey versus Raquel. And then, of course, the big match of the night that I think everyone's looking forward to. Everybody's been talking about. You have John Cena tagging with Kevin Owens versus none other than the Tribal Chief. They're the ones, and Sami Zayn. So that's your preview for Friday night. So Big B, I'll go ahead and start out with you. What are you thinking about Friday night?
What a way to end the show or year, I guess. We all knew it was going to be John Cena and KO versus Roman and Sammy. The other two matches definitely going to be bangers. Solo versus Sheamus is going to be, definitely a good match. And then the women's title match, I'm kind of hoping Raquel takes it from her because I kind of think they're building Ronda and Shayna to go after the tag titles. So I'm hoping Raquel takes it. But it should be a good way to end the year.
All right, Christy, I'm going to go to you. So Friday night, what are you thinking for Friday?
Well, the Sheamus versus Solo match definitely sounds like it's going to be a banger, so that's one to look forward to. And, of course, obviously KO and Cena versus Roman and Sammy, I think is also going to be a banger. If I had to guess who's going to take the pin, I think it's going to be Sammy who takes the pin, and that'll probably begin the whole Sammy getting his butt kicked by the Bloodline, which I think we've all been predicting practically since the guy started kissing up to them maybe earlier this year.
Yeah, that's kind of what, because we've kind of been talking about that over the last several weeks, talking about what we think is going to happen as far as the Bloodline, who's turning and things like that, and what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to Friday night. It's like you guys said, I think that those matches are going to be great. And it's just like Sheamus says, he puts on banger after banger.
After banger after banger after
right. And it's true. And you throw Solo in this mix, and Solo to me feels like the underrated one in the Bloodline. I really do feel like that, because people talk about how good the Usos are. People talk about how good Roman is and Sami is. But Solo does not get the recognition that he rightfully deserves. Solo's a very talented, very, very talented wrestler. Like,
if you see his matches in NXT, he was doing well. He was putting on some bangers down there in NXT.
Oh, absolutely.
The title in NXT, right?
North American.
The NXT title.
The one. Okay.
No,
North American one.
Yeah, but remember, he had that North American one for a very, very short time.
Yeah.
Because a week.
No, I don't even think it was that. He won it.
No, I think it was a week, I think.
Yeah, it was a week. He won it, and then a week later he had to give it up because he broke the rules.
Yeah, because of that whole thing. Yeah, so it wasn't even very long. However, before they called him up to the main roster, they had it planned, which I would actually look forward to it myself, but they actually had a plan for Solo to feud with Braun Breaker over the NXT title.
That would have been cool. I don't know why they wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. That would have been that's
been awesome.
That's Vince McMahon booking. But anyway,
it's all Vince McMahon's fault.
I would have loved to see that. I think that would have been a great rivalry. So I think the Sheamus and Solo match is going to be very, very good. I'm not going to say.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and do the tag match first.
Ooh.
Trying to get you hyped up.
I would almost think that's main event worthy.
I think it would be main event, but I think it would get people drawn in. Mm-hmm. But again, they could do the Solo Sheamus match first too. So
I think that would honestly be a better idea.
I
really kind of get the buzz going for the show by doing that match first.
Which I honestly think that those are the order that it's going to go. If I had to take a guess, it would be Sheamus and Solo, and then it would probably be Ronda and Raquel, and then the main event will be that tag match. It would not surprise me. I'm just saying, it would not surprise me if you only see 3 matches on SmackDown, because I think those 3 matches could take up a lot of SmackDown. I think Sheamus and Solo
for a long time.
I
thought I saw there was more, but I could be wrong.
It might be.
I could be wrong. Those are the 3 that I know of for sure. Those are the ones that I know of. But when it comes to it, though, I think that Sheamus and Solo match could go probably 20 plus. Like it could. I'm not saying it will, but I'm saying it could, for how talented both of the guys are. Now the Ronda and Raquel, I'm gonna say 10 minutes tops. I don't think it's gonna go past that.
No.
But then when it comes to the main event, the tag match, because of who's in it, I think that match could be a very, very long match.
Could go for maybe 30 some odd minutes, maybe.
Now, how that match ends is going to be interesting to see. Do I kind of agree with Big B, how Big B said that it was either Big B or Christy on how you guys said it was going to end, which the person that's going to get pinned, I do believe, is going to be Sami Zayn. Yeah. I truly feel he's going to be the one that gets pinned in this. And so maybe this is just maybe this is the night where maybe the Bloodline starts getting a little bit irritated with Sami Zayn. What's up, Warren? We hope you're having a good night.
Hello.
But maybe not. I just know that there's been rumors about this building up between Sammy and Roman, and maybe not even Sammy and Roman, but Sammy and KO versus the Usos for WrestleMania.
I've heard that.
That's
I've heard that.
Talk about it.
Now, could we see a kind of a swerve and Sammy jumps the gun first in this match and turns towards the end?
It's possible, but
I mean,
definitely see what happens.
It is possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, because to me, the only reason I'm saying like I feel something's gonna happen is because of how big they're making this.
oh yeah.
Like,
Something's got to happen big.
Yeah, I feel like something big is gonna happen because they're gonna have Cena and they're gonna have Kevin Owens, and then they're having Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, which makes me feel something big is going to happen.
Something's about to happen.
Now, we don't exactly know what. We don't know if Sammy could be turning. We don't know if this is where the bloodline turns on Sami Zayn.
Right.
That's gonna be interesting to see. But I think we're all looking forward to Friday Night
Oh,
Smackdown.
definitely.
I really want
I
to see
am.
what happens. And so Warren saying Sammy's facing Roman in his home in Quebec. Yeah, and that's what I've heard. The Elimination Chamber that is coming up, I've heard that Sami Zayn is supposed to be taking on Roman Reigns then. So I feel like there has to be some kind of turn coming up here. There's got to be something going on at some point. I just don't know when. So that's why people are saying is 30th, is Friday night, the night that these things start going into place.
Yep.
And it could be because we know it's got to happen. It's got to happen soon. We just don't know exactly when.
We really don't know who could do the turn. I mean,
well, we don't know. Jimmy or Jay or Solo or even Sammy could all turn on the blood. Any one of them could turn on the bloodline.
Thing is, this is the thing though. Like people are immediately saying that it's Sami Zayn that is going to turn, but what if it's two? What if it's Sammy and Solo? Because there's also there's been speculations that Sammy and Solo can go after the Usos, and maybe it's not Sammy and Kevin Owens. Maybe it's Sammy and Solo.
That would be kind of a big swerve.
Yeah, because of noticing with some of the body language, Solo just doesn't seem to be as into the whole bloodline thing as the others happen to be. He sounds like he's standing there crossing his arms looking like a sourpuss. So
yeah, I can tell you
him.
Solo hasn't been as oozy as the other one.
But the thing is
no, he's definitely
that's his character though. He's supposed to be the street brawler and
the street brawler, just looking, I
don't know. It's going to be an interesting swerve, and I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to go Friday night. So that's why I
think if we get a Solo turn, then that almost guarantees we don't get The Rock at WrestleMania. It'll be Solo and Roman at WrestleMania.
Maybe.
Well, maybe. So because now we can transition into our next topic, which is about Roman Reigns. Because now we're talking about, okay, what are the current rumors for Roman Reigns? Well, the current rumors for Roman Reigns is that Roman is actually scheduled to drop one of his titles before WrestleMania. And that on the first night, it's supposed to be either Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins or Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre or whatever else. But Cody and Seth or Drew is supposed to be in that title picture somewhere. And it's supposed to be for the WWE Championship because the Universal Championship, we know that Roman's going to hold on to that because he's had that one forever. And so
over 2 years.
Yeah. And so we know he's going to hold on to that one. But this is where the speculation comes into play because now people are talking about, okay, if he's going to drop it, how's he going to do it? And so that's the thing. Who's he going to drop it to? Because right now, as it's scheduled, night one is supposed to be that Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. But now they're saying that they're already saying they don't have The Rock and Roman Reigns penciled in yet. It's not even a guarantee it's going to happen, but they're hoping to have it set in stone by Royal Rumble. If it's not set in stone by Royal Rumble, they're going to scrap it and they're going to forget about it. And at that point in time, now they're talking about Cody Rhodes taking The Rock's place in night 2 and having Cody versus Roman in night 2 for the Universal Championship.
Right.
Which would then make night 1 Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. So, if these rumors are true, Big B, I'll go to you on this. So, if the rumors are true, who and when do you think that Roman will actually drop it?
It's got to be soon because, I mean, January, I don't believe there's a pay-per-view in February, and then it's WrestleMania in end of April, early March, something like that. God, I don't know. Kind of like to see Roman defend them both at WrestleMania, so I really hope he doesn't drop either one, but I just sent you guys a picture. There's been a lot of rumors I've seen on a lot of different that Montez Ford to get into the mix. So I don't see that happening before WrestleMania.
It won't happen this year, no.
Yeah.
Because and the only reason I'm saying that is because we know that night 1 is scheduled at WrestleMania for, either Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, or Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes, which to me makes me think that somewhere along the lines, it's potentially Seth Rollins that's getting one of the titles off of Roman. So it makes me wonder.
I mean, one of the titles would have to be dropped at WrestleMania or at Royal Rumble, I think.
Well,
one of them at least.
The Elimination Chamber, I think, is after that. I think they have one.
Do they got the Elimination Chamber? Okay.
Yeah, they do. Because that's where the speculation's been about, what's the Elimination Chamber match is going to be. Is it going to be, 2 matches, one for the United States title and one for the Intercontinental title? And then is somebody going to be facing, Roman one-on-one, which it was supposed to be Sami Zayn at the Elimination Chamber.
Right.
But I'm trying to find out that if Sami Zayn is not penciled in for a championship match at WrestleMania, somewhere along the lines, somebody else is going to have to win one of this. Whether it be Seth Rollins or whatever.
I can't see Sammy being a face right now. I just can't. I don't know. I mean, if he turns on him, then you're going to get that match at Elimination Chamber, but who knows?
No, but my thing is, though, Big B, as I'm saying, if he drops the title, do you think it's going to be Seth Rollins, and when will he drop it?
Will it be man?
Because if the match is penciled in as Seth Rollins versus either Drew McIntyre or Seth versus Cody on night 1, who do you think goes in with the title then?
Well, that's the whole thing. Is like they don't have time to really do that unless they drop one at WrestleMania or at Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, guys.
Right.
I mean, because you got the winner of the Royal Rumble, who's going to get the title shot at Mania.
Yep.
And if Sami Zayn's penciled in at an Elimination Chamber to get the title, unless he gets the title off of him and then he shows up on Raw and then Seth takes it from him, I mean, that's the only possibility that could be. And then that sets up Cody and Seth or, at Mania first night. So
yeah,
there's going to be a quick 2 title changes.
Yeah.
Or not 2 title changes, but I guess it'll be 1 title change. It'll be whoever beats Roman, and then they're going to flip-flop and put the belt on somebody on Raw very quickly after that.
Right. Well, Warren has a really good comment here. He says it might be vacant.
Yeah, but
there's that possibility.
I don't think that they're just going to make him vacate it. My honest thing, and hold on really quick. Serena, yes, we'll be back next week with the Red Tape Files. But anyways, with that though, like my thing is, Big B, the track you were going on is kind of how I think it could happen. I'm talking about, let's say, like one night, Roman ends up showing up on Raw with the Bloodline. Okay. Right. And Seth Rollins comes out and Seth goes, you know what? You haven't defended this belt very much on Raw. Yep. You haven't defended it on SmackDown. Yep. So tonight on Raw, I'm challenging you for the WWE Championship. And maybe that's how maybe that's how he gets it off of Roman. But instead of making it a one-on-one match to protect Roman Reigns from getting pinned, if you don't want Roman to get pinned before Mania, then instead of doing that, what you do is you go, you know what? It's not just going to be Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. It's going to be Seth versus Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. And then during the match, they say, okay, only one belt is on the line. And you say the WWE Championship is on the line. And then instead of Seth pinning Roman, Seth pins Drew McIntyre and wins the belt. And then that way, Roman Reigns is still protected going into Mania. Because he can come out and say, I was not pinned. I lost my belt, but I didn't get pinned.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you know, and that would set up, of course, Drew and Seth at Mania.
Maybe.
Possibly, yeah. So
where does that leave Cody, though?
Well, but that's the thing, though, is so let's say, because I think that's why I'm saying whatever happens, it's going to happen after the Rumble. So, so they're saying because they want to have this penciled in by the Rumble, so they know what their plan is for Mania. So let's say they don't have The Rock penciled in for Mania, then you're going to have Cody Rhodes win the Rumble. And then you'll say Cody Rhodes will then take on Roman Reigns, okay? But then, like the next night on Raw or whatever, that's when you have Roman Reigns put his title on the line against like Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre. Or you wait till SmackDown and then Roman puts it on the line against Drew McIntyre and Seth on SmackDown. One of the two. I think that's how you could set it up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they should have never put both belts on both the Usos and Roman Reigns, because now they're trying to get them off and they don't know how to without keeping Roman.
They don't.
Strong.
Yeah, no, it's just they really did not think this through very well at all.
No, that's Vince.
Yeah, exactly. This was all Vince McMahon's idea. It's all his fault, and Triple H and Stephanie are left having to clean up the mess.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it, how they take it off of him, because the way that Warren was talking to is like, yeah, since he's barely on Raw, you could tell him, be like, hey, you're never on Raw, so therefore, because you're never on Raw, we're stripping you of the WWE Championship because you're never on Raw, and that's a title on Raw.
Yep.
So that could keep them strong too, and then that way at that point in time, once it comes around, like after the Rumble's over, then you know if The Rock will be at Mania, then you know night 2 will be Roman versus Rock for the Universal Championship, but night 1 you'll have Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes on night 1 if The Rock's going to be there. If not, then you'll have Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre on night 1.
Yep.
Night 2, you'll have Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. More I think about it, I think Warren's onto something about him dropping the title, because now that puts the title in the Elimination Chamber.
Right.
You know, but again, I mean, we never know what's going on. I mean, yeah, reports are going to leak out, but I could, now that I really think about it, I could see Roman going on Raw. Like you said, Seth calls him out and says, you're not on here that much and blah, blah, blah. And Roman's like, fine, I don't need this title anyways, and drops it right there, and they make it vacant, and then we get a title match in the Elimination Chamber, and then possibly Cody Rhodes returns at Mania to take the title off the winner, most likely.
I think Cody returns at the Royal Rumble. I really do.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's been the general
he
consensus
returns at the
rumor.
Royal Rumble and wins it.
Pretty much, yeah. Since the injury, they said, "Oh, he'll be back by the Royal Rumble, no problem."
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the overall. Well, people at first were saying that he wasn't going to come back until Mania. That was what WWE was saying. It's going to be 9 months. It'll be Mania, but we all knew it was going to be the Rumble. Like, we all knew he was going to come back at the Rumble.
Well,
it just felt too obvious.
You bring him in. I mean, even if he's not 100%, let's say he's 80% at the Rumble. you bring him in 27 or higher, he doesn't have to work that much. He tosses the loser, whoever out, and he wins.
Yeah.
And then you start building up to.
Well, he is cleared to wrestle. Like they've already come.
Oh, as he's been cleared. Okay.
Yeah.
He's already been cleared. Like they already came out and said he's cleared. Like his wife came out and said Cody's ready to come back anytime.
Oh,
and so,
okay. Brandy said that. Okay.
Ready to come back. I mean, it's one thing. I mean, but
and Warren saying that Cody shown up the first Raw in 2023, and I'm saying that could be a shocker though too, because people could be expecting him at the Rumble, but instead of that, he shows up on Monday Night Raw. Like that would be
possible.
You want to talk about like?
So he comes out and says he's entering the Royal Rumble.
There's that.
He could be like he could show up and be like, "Hey, I'm here, and guess what? I'm letting everybody know I'm cleared, and now, I'm letting you know that I am entering the Royal Rumble."
Right.
And I think
that could be. The crowd goes crazy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They hear his music, they're going to go nuts.
Wrestling has more than
one. Where is the first Rumble or first Raw at?
I have no idea.
That is a good question. I don't know where that's happening.
No, I don't keep track of this stuff really.
I know we need Chris. He normally is on top of it.
Yeah.
Texas.
Warren says Texas.
Oh, Texas. Okay. Where in Texas though? Dallas.
It doesn't matter where it is at in Texas. Okay.
Nope. I got here. The schedule is Monday, January 2nd, Raw, Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee.
Ooh.
On what day?
Okay.
The 2nd.
Yeah.
Oh, Warren's saying San Antonio, Texas.
That's where the Rumble is.
Yeah, that's I believe where the Rumble's at. Yeah.
That's where the Rumble's going to take place this year.
Yeah. So it's probably so. I mean, it would be cool if he just flat out showed up on a Monday Night Raw, because that would be like a bigger shock than having him show up at the Royal Rumble, because people are expecting him to show up at the Royal Rumble. Yeah. Nobody's expecting
the countdown and the buzzer, and then he shows up, and you're like, oh, like that.
Yeah, nobody's expecting him to show up on a Monday Night Raw.
No.
So he shows up on a Monday Night Raw. It's like Big B said, that place is gonna freaking erupt. That place is gonna go crazy. Like that place is going to go freaking crazy.
Like that.
All right. So we can go into our next topic, which our next topic, it kind of deals with the bloodline and who we think is going to turn. And so, Big B, I'll start with you. Who's going to turn? Is Sammy going to turn on the bloodline? Is Solo going to turn on the bloodline? Or is the bloodline going to turn on Sammy?
Because you read some stories and you see some interviews. Sammy said that this is the biggest he's been in his whole career is when he went with the bloodline, and a lot of people are mimicking that, saying that Sammy's not been any bigger. So I mean, if you do what's best for business, you keep them with the bloodline, and then you turn one of the bloodline members that they're getting sick of Sammy. So I guess this Friday, I think option one for me would be, if you're going to turn Sammy, you're going to turn him on Friday on the last SmackDown to set up everything. Yep. If they don't do that on SmackDown and they don't get The Rock penciled in, I could see Solo turning on the bloodline. So
yeah,
if I had to pick, for what's best for business is I think Solo turns on the bloodline.
Okay. Christy, how about you?
Long time I thought it would be the bloodline all turns on Sammy. They beat the crap out of him, but it's starting to look like, to me, it looks like Solo could be the one to turn on the bloodline, because he just doesn't seem that into it, really. Maybe he's like, I'm better off going off on my own instead of being a part of this group. this group of people.
Yeah, Solo hasn't been very oozy, and Warren, right now, you're
Nope.
not being very oozy with that question. Why on free TV? Why not?
Why not?
I mean, heck, you're bringing John Cena back to give him a tag match against Roman and Sami.
You gotta remember,
Yeah.
we're going into, this is gonna be what, year 1 officially? He gets to do the Rumble. I mean,
Yeah, and I'll tell you,
is now in control. All these storylines are his,
and
Yeah.
he's trying to make an impact. He's trying to make a
exactly.
huge impact.
and you gotta watch. I mean, what is it? Speaking of Impact, what's Impact doing? What's AEW doing? Those guys are putting some big matches on free TV, big name guys.
Oh, they are.
So I mean, Triple H is gonna do what's best for business, and
Yeah.
putting a big turn on SmackDown to end the year is going to be huge.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, but
He's making his mark.
I mean, it's not the Vince era no more. I mean, we're getting away from everything's going to be, all the big things are going to happen on the pay-per-views. I think we're going to see a lot of things happening on SmackDown, Raw, NXT, stuff like that.
Pay-per-views, the whole thing.
And they've already actually sold out the Rumble, and they've actually had to they've considered having to open up more seats because more people are wanting to buy some. So they're having to figure out how they can potentially open up more seats for it.
Yeah, it's crazy how they sold out all those tickets, and it's like, we better add in some more seats to this.
And Mania is going to sell out fast.
Because
super fast.
It's LA. It's gonna sell out like crazy.
Imagine if they consider. Yeah, I'm saying imagine though if they confirm The Rock versus Roman, that's going to be. That would sell out so freaking fast.
You'll be getting all the fans in there, and you're even going to get the celebrities in the luxury boxes at SoFi Stadium wanting to see Rock versus Roman. I mean, it's going to be filled to the rafters.
That's a huge match. That's a huge sell. Yeah, and so Warren's saying night 1 is sold out. It is.
Oh my
night
God.
1 is already sold out. Like people are buying.
It's going to sell out. I mean.
I should have anticipated that, but it's still shocking to me.
I mean, I know we've had a few, bad Manias where they considered it sold out, and
it really wasn't.
We've talked to Will from Top Rope, and he's kind of got the inside, and they said it wasn't, on a couple of them, but Mania is still the event everybody wants to go see, and like we said, the rumor,
huge.
Rock, you pencil in the Rock, night 2 is going to sell out just like that. I mean,
boom.
Which I think he'll sell out regardless. Especially because since the backup plan is Roman versus Cody. So that would sell out regardless because people want to see that too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's.
I mean, anticipation, regardless of whether you have The Rock there or not, is going to be ginormous for Mania because it's always been like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after Mania, could we say Roman's probably going to take some time off then? I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think
he's walking away. He's not going to be a champ after Mania.
No, I don't think he is.
Once he loses the titles, he will take some time off. He will. And so Mania, I'd say, is bigger than the Super Bowl, honestly.
I don't know, but
even non-wrestling fans watch WrestleMania.
I would say they're pretty equal, but
no, see, that has
right.
to do with a lot of people, and not to get off track here. I think WrestleMania means the most to WWE. If it's been documented. If it's never happened, wrestling's not around anymore. And I still think that's big. I think if they put on a bad product for WrestleMania and it doesn't go over well, they could start seeing the downside of wrestling. Where the Super Bowl, I mean, unless you somehow put an Owen whatever team in the Super Bowl. And it's a big blowout year after year. NFL's going to be around for a while, but so.
All right. Well, since we talked about that, now we can get into our main event of the evening. The things that we've been waiting for, our yearly awards that we're going to give out, our second annual yearly awards. And so, first off, the first award. Big B, you can announce the awards. Don't give out the winner yet, and then I will announce the finalists for it.
All right. So the first award we are going to do is the tag team of the year. Now, remind you viewers, we are just doing WWE, so this could be Raw, SmackDown, NXT. So,
All right. So the finalists.
runner up, Ace.
Yeah, this is for everybody who voted, and it wasn't just the team members on Between the Ropes. We reached out to several fans, asked them for their opinions, and we said, vote, and we would love to hear your feedback. So we got votes from people. I will say this on the tag team part. I can't give you a runner-up because there was none. It was a unanimous vote, and so now on the unanimous vote for your tag team of the year, I will shift this back over to Big B.
It was RK Bro. No, I'm just kidding. That was for Randy Dragon Viper.
There
it
you
was
go.
the Usos. I don't think
Of course.
us three or anybody else could have thought of a different tag team.
Nope.
Usos been doing it since day one.
Day one-ish.
Down since day one-ish, down since. Which, when it comes down to it, I don't think anybody was surprised that it was the Usos in a unanimous vote.
And honestly, if we would have opened it up to the whole wrestling promotions and all that, all the major ones, I still think the Usos would have taken it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you really, it would be hard to say that it wasn't the Usos.
Yeah.
But the Usos got it. Congratulations to the Usos. Last year, I do believe, if I remember right, I think last year was the New Day, if I do remember right. But
yeah, we got to go look it up. We should have done that before, but I think New Day took it.
But it was the Usos this year, so very, very interesting. All right, so this time I'm going to shift this one over to Christy now. So Christy, we're going to go with your first award.
All right. My award is the Most Improved Female Wrestler of the Year.
And so with the Most Improved Female Wrestler of the Year, I will say that we did get a few votes here for improved. And the finalists for improved ones, we have Liv Morgan, who made it in there.
Yep.
We had Cora Jade, who made it in there. Ooh. We had Roxanne Perez, who made it in there. Those were our 3 finalists for Most Improved Female Wrestlers of the Year.
What? Dragon Viper didn't make this one either? Jesus.
All right, Christy, I'm going to shift this back to you.
Okay, and the winner is Liv Morgan.
And
well deserved.
That was a well-deserved one. I think Liv Morgan actually improved quite a bit, actually. For me, I feel like that was actually an excellent choice. I'm just glad that this was not a unanimous one, because I do feel like there was a few people who were deserving of it, but I do feel like in reality, Liv Morgan was the right pick for this award, because I feel like she truly deserved this one. So
you take a look at the matches she had with like Becky Lynch, and then winning Money in the Bank, and then cashing in on Ronda, and having what I think was a fairly decent run as SmackDown Women's Champion. She definitely deserved it.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to shift back to Big B's next award.
Most Improved Male.
Ooh.
So, Most Improved Male Wrestler of the Year. I will say we had a few names that were thrown in out here. Our finalists, we had Joe Gacy from NXT that got thrown in there. Besides Joe Gacy, we had Matt Riddle, who got thrown in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And we also got Austin Theory, who was also thrown in this one also. So now we shift this over to Big B, and now Big B, you can announce.
Dominic Mysterio didn't even make the cut. God dang it.
Well, okay, I forgot to say somebody did vote for Dominic also. So.
Oh, God.
Austin Theory wins it, and I definitely coming from NXT up, I think he's just improving, every day, and every match he has, I think someday I think we're going to see some major gold around that guy's waist.
Oh yeah.
He's definitely taking strides. And I know that, people didn't like him before because he was kind of, Vince's boy. And so they didn't really like Austin Theory. I think the thing that I was trying to say before is that you can't overlook Austin Theory's talent.
Yeah.
No.
Because the dude is talent. He's got everything. He's got the charisma. He's got the mic skills. He's got the in-ring skills. He's got it all. And so it's hard to overlook that.
And I think if Vince wouldn't have left or whatever happened with Vince, probably would have got a title sooner than he probably should have.
Right, because he was the Money in the Bank. He did have the Money in the Bank briefcase, and if Vince had stayed, he probably would have cashed in on Roman at Clash at the Castle or SummerSlam or something like that.
Potentially, that very well could have happened.
Yeah.
Very well could have. Okay, so now going into our next award, we're going to go into the WWE Match of the Year.
Ooh.
Now, I will say this was almost a unanimous vote. Almost. There was two matches got thrown in this one for Match of the Year. And so the two matches of the year that were thrown out there, number one, the one that was thrown out there was Sheamus versus Gunther at
That was a good one.
at Clash of the Castle. People looked that said that could have potentially been a match of the year. And I don't disagree with that. That definitely could have been the match of the year.
Banger.
And then the second one we had was Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell. And it was almost unanimous, but it wasn't. That the winner for Match of the Year this year was none other than drum roll. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell.
Yay.
How could you not make that match of the year?
I mean, when you have a torn pectoral muscle and you're able to wrestle,
and you could tell he was even having a hard time taking that off. I mean, just imagine how hard of a time you had putting it on, and how many people probably helped him, and
and probably all of them are looking at him like, "Are you insane?"
Yeah, so I was looking at that, and I'm like, you pretty much once I saw them, like, yeah, you have to almost say that was.
And people that are saying that it was a work and they dolled it up. No, there's no way.
Not a work. That was as legit legit of an injury as you can get, because it. Oh, I mean, bleh.
Yeah.
That was
just even still thinking about it when he.
I just wonder how many people tried to talk him out of that match.
Oh, I'm sure there was a lot. I'm sure there was.
His wife, Brandy, probably tried to.
I bet you Seth even tried to.
He said, "Yeah, Seth probably even tried to as well." Like, dude, don't.
Let's
pull it off until you get better.
That was I'm telling you, that was a hell of a match. Like, that was no doubt well deserving of Match of the Year.
I think all three of them were kind of pretty good that they did. I think.
Yeah.
All three.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And props to Seth Rollins for doing his part. Hey.
How's it going, Trevor? We hope you're having a good night.
What's up, Trevor?
So the next one that we're going to is we're actually going to what everybody had as the promo of the year. So promo of the year, there was actually a few finalists with this one. And so with a few finalists with this is that there was the Randy Orton promo, to where he talks about, I'm still the Viper. I will always be the Viper. Then the other promo, the other person that got a vote was Bray Wyatt. He got a vote when he came back with his and said, it's me, it's just me, and I've always wanted to be me. The first promo he did on SmackDown, and so people are saying promo of the year with that. So there was that one. There was the Randy Orton one. There also got a vote. So I can tell you there was actually quite a few. The winning one only got like 2 or 3 votes out of, because there was so many of them that people had voted on. One of the other ones was the KO and Drew McIntyre promo that they did on Raw. They said that was a fire promo too. They absolutely love that. The promo between Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle, they said that was a great promo, but none other than the promo of the year. Drum roll. The person that gets promo of the year in the WWE is none other than the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, with his promo right after WrestleMania when he starts.
That was a very good one.
That was great. I mean, he mentioned his daughter and he starts to get emotional. He mentions his dad. He starts to get a little emotional, and it's like you could feel everything coming from Cody as he was cutting that promo on the Raw after WrestleMania. Yeah,
and honestly, that was like one of the first promos that I thought of when it was promo of the year. I'm like, it was
amazing.
And so Jason says WWE versus NFL. Would you still watch the NFL if you found out it was scripted?
That's a good question.
This has honestly been a big debate on Four Bros. J-Max brought up a few times. Of course we would, because I mean, unless they leak the score and how it's going to end, I mean, we're still going to try to see it.
Yep. So, we want to see the big hits and everything.
All right. Yeah. And then Jason saying John Cena returned, except no one saw him.
That's a good one.
So that was promo of the year right there. Okay. So now moving on to our next one. Big B, I'm going to transition over to you on this one.
All right. We are going to go with the Rookie of the Year.
All right. So, Rookie of the Year. There was actually a few nominations that we got for Rookie of the Year. We did get Austin Theory got some votes out there as Rookie of the Year. Some other Rookie of the Year nominations that we had. We also had Braun Breaker that got some nominations for Rookie of the Year. So I can tell you that was definitely well deserving on that. We also had a nomination for Roxanne Perez for Rookie of the Year, and that I would say would be, deserving also.
Yep.
That one, yeah, I was looking at that and I was like, yeah, that would be hard not to say that. But in the end, we can only give the award to one person. So this person that got it got multiple nominations. So now I'm going to turn this back over to Big B.
All right, Rookie of the Year for C2C's awards is Braun Breaker.
Yeah, Braun Breaker got the most nominations. It was really, really close. I will tell you, there was one deciding vote I was waiting on, because there was 2 people that were at 2 votes each, and I was like, we're gonna end in a tie. And I was waiting for that one decisive vote, and I was like, now it's gonna mess everything up if this one person votes for somebody else. I'm like, then we're gonna be at a 2-2 tie. And then they shoot the answer over at the last minute, and they're like, my answer's Braun. And I was like, okay, so that breaks the tie. And now we have
a winner.
So Braun Breaker ended up being
definitely a good choice. I can't wait for him to make the main roster.
Yeah. Because there's no limit to what he can do when he goes to the main roster.
That was a well-deserving one also.
Yes.
I would have been shocked if Austin Theory would have won 2 awards on the same day. But
I don't know, just Roxanne Perez just stood out to me because it's like she starts out and then works her way up to where she is now as the NXT Women's Champion. So
I
thought not bad, pretty damn good for a rookie, I have to admit.
And if Theory would have won 2 awards, his ego would have just went skyrocketing.
I don't think he can get any higher than where it is now.
Absolutely. But Braun Breaker, to me, feels like the definite perfect choice. So he definitely deserves it. All right. So we're going to now shift our focus over to Christy and her next award.
Female Wrestler of the Year.
All right. So Female Wrestler of the Year. So we did get a few nominations on this one. So for Female Wrestler of the Year, we had Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
We had Becky Lynch. And we had Bianca Belair. Those were our 3 nominations that we got for Female Wrestler of the Year. All right. Now I will go ahead and shift this back to Christy.
Okay, and the winner for Female Wrestler of the Year is the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair.
Was that really going to honestly though, was that really going to be a surprise? Because
no, it wasn't.
The other 2, well, okay, I actually forgot one. There was actually one other person that did get 1 vote in there, and that was actually Mandy Rose. That got
Oh God! How much do you want to bet it was mess around to put the vote in for that one?
It may or may not have been. I'm not going to disclose that information.
No, that's confidential.
Right?
I think Mandy would have got it if she would have stayed at the main roster and got her success. But I think the best move for her was to go down to NXT.
It was.
I mean, 413 days, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, and she became much better. But because of what she achieved in NXT, you could have potentially considered her because of that. So she did get a vote, and I forgot to mention that. But yes, Bianca Belair, well-deserved because she has had the title since Mania. This has kind of been her year, so to say. It really has been her year.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think if Bliss would have taken time off,
she probably would have gotten
the character that she's played is just and we talked about it week in and week out, that no matter what kind of character you give her, she goes full out and she turns it into gold.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just goes for it.
Well, welcome in, Will. We hope you're having a good night. Okay. So now we go to our final award of the night. It's one of our biggest awards, and this is the Wrestler of the Year award. So the Male Wrestler of the Year award. Would I surprise you if I told you this was not a unanimous decision?
Yeah, because there's quite a few names that it could be.
Yeah.
I mean,
could be anybody, really.
If it was unanimous, then we all know who won it.
Yeah, it was not unanimous.
That's
and
good.
I can tell you the names that were thrown out there right now. So one of the names that were thrown out there was Seth freaking Rollins.
Yep.
Right.
The other name that was thrown out there was Sami Zayn.
Right.
Ooh, really?
Okay. Yep.
Wow.
The other name that was thrown out there was Rey Mysterio.
Surprising.
And that wasn't a joke. That was not a joke. I saw that look on Big B's like, what? And then the other name that was thrown out there, of course, is none other than the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. So when it came down to Wrestler of the Year, congratulations. Ray, no, I'm just kidding. It's not Rey Mysterio. Congratulations to none other than, you knew it was coming, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. He gets Wrestler of the Year. And I don't think it really surprises anybody that was the awards that was given.
No, I mean, like I said before, I mean, him having both belts is kind of, done good things, but again, it got kind of boring. But yet now we're kind of seeing Triple H's spin on it. It's like, okay, now how are we going to get the belts off of him and still make him look strong? So, congrats to Roman. I know he's going to love that award when we send it into him in the mail. So,
yeah.
Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I gotta call him on the phone after this and let him know that.
We'll have Dragon Viper deliver it and slap him in the face.
Yeah, I gotta deliver it to him.
That would be funny.
I got to deliver it to him after this. Now, it's funny, though, too, because there was one guy who, at first, he misunderstood when I sent him the list and I said, hey, vote for it. I I forgot to originally put WWE in there, and I said anything including NXT, but it was supposed to say any WWE promotion including NXT, but I type in WWE. So he sends back this excellent list, and a lot of it was already stuff that we had mentioned here. And so I think one of the biggest things was that his wrestler of the year immediately was Roman Reigns. Like he said, it doesn't matter what promotion it is.
Really?
Yeah, which is exactly what he told me. He told me, he's like, I don't care what the promotion is. He's like, my pick is Roman. And that was when he thought it was any promotion. He still picked Roman Reigns.
The way you're going, I thought you were going to say he was going to pick MJF, because I think MJF would have gave him a heck of a run wrestling for Male of the Year.
But John Moxley, because he carried AEW through all the CM Punk BS.
Yeah. So when he legitimately thought it was any promotion, he still picked Roman Reigns.
Good.
There you go.
So I can tell you it's a well-deserved one. And his last little notes on that when he picked Reigns was, and he said, and to be perfectly honest, he's like, it's not even close. And so I was like, okay. So I was like, fair enough. And that's
I think it's closer than that, but no, whoever that was, I mean, everybody's got their opinion. So
yeah, but Roman is definitely one that definitely deserves it. And so but that is our awards. That's our yearly awards. Right. Excellent choices. Everybody that got it deserved what they got. It was another fun episode of Between the Ropes. Big B, I'm going to turn this back to you. Any final thoughts or anything about what we just covered?
No, it's always great to talk wrestling. I think it's one of the, sports that I think we got a lot of fans out. Just trying to dig them out a little bit, here and there. But outside of that, just keep checking out C2C. 2023 is going to be huge for us. Keep improving. Going to revamp some shows, revamp some times, and hopefully bring in some more hosts and, bring in more people like Christy that started off as a fan and became one of our hosts. So just keep checking out C2C.
Did you already reach out to our newest edition on C2C to let them know the good news?
Not yet, but we will. We may announce that on Wednesday.
All right. Yeah, which tomorrow night. So catch the show tomorrow night. There's going to be a lot of great topics for you. Maybe one day, Christy will throw in her hat in there and say, you know what, she's ready to be C2C full time. You never know when she's ready to do that.
Yeah, true.
All right.
I just need the time.
All right. So with everybody, we do want to thank everybody. Well, let me get to Christy first. So Christy, go ahead and say your final thoughts.
Well, it's been a fun year of wrestling, and it's been fun to be a part of this show, and it's just overall been awesome.
All right.
And can't wait to see what 2023 has to offer.
We're definitely all looking forward to it. So we definitely want to thank all of our viewers for watching. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Warren. Thank you. I know I've missed a few names, so I'm sorry. I completely lost track of everybody who commented. Thank you anyways. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It's been a great episode, and we will see you next Tuesday for another episode of Between the Ropes. Everybody have a fantastic evening.
Good night.